is Smells Like 90s Rock. Sheila and Hot Toddy here with you.
We're
here. Good evening. So, yeah, what's going on? It's not been a fun week at all for anybody, period. It's just been one depressing event after another. I think that's clear to say, unless you have something good to talk about.
Well, I haven't had a terrible week. Like, it's sad what happened to Robin Williams, but I didn't personally know him.
Not many people around here did, I don't think.
And so, like, it was that moment of, wow, and then...
Well, I tell you, normally we do have that kind of, whoa, wow, he died? Oh, that's sad. And then we kind of let it go. But with Robin Williams, it's a little bit more rough because, you know, he wasn't old, he wasn't sick. Well, we found out now he was sick, but we didn't know at the time he was sick. And, you know, we grew up watching him, and he's probably at least everybody's one of their favorite comedians or actors at some point.
Oh, no, wildly talented. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the 90s, Mrs. Doubtfire and stuff.
Oh, God,
awesome.
You know,
Aladdin, great.
We're going to be playing a little tribute here in
Jumanji.
just a minute. Jumanji.
I mean,
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Patch Adams. Come on. I mean, these were all great movies.
Yeah, like, he was definitely... Good Morning Vietnam, one of my favorite movies.
That is
by
one
him,
of my
by
favorites,
the
yeah.
way.
Dead Poets Society.
Very talented, but... So when I found out it happened, everybody in my Facebook feed ran on and started talking about it, and how it affected their life and stuff, and how it was such a great tragedy. But I've been recently following, first of all, what's happening in Palestine. And
that was the two stories this week, was
Israel.
Robin Williams and the Israel-Palestine issue. That's what's going on. And Iraq, too.
Oh, yeah. And then also the Iraq with the Islamic State.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it 2003? I'm sorry. Am I in the 8th grade? As I feel like we're starting all over again with Iraq. I don't really want to deal with it. Is Saddam Hussein back? Is he back yet? Oh,
it's somebody else. But it's just when I see that, and the Ebola crisis in Africa, I just wonder why none of my friends on Facebook, who are rather enlightened folks, who are empathetic and stuff like, why they never felt the need or the desire to comment on that in any way, but couldn't resist saying that how sad it was that one person died when we have thousands going.
How come you didn't say anything either?
I didn't comment on, well, no, I have posted things on it about, look at this or whatever. I try not to do too many things, but I also didn't comment on Robin Williams. So.
True. But I
try to keep my Facebook a little bit lighthearted.
Right. See, that's the thing though about because what the Palestine-Israel thing is more news, and most of the time when it comes to Facebook, unless we're using it for a journalistic sense, not many people are going to post much about it except for news sites and journalists and things like that. Whereas the Robin Williams thing, I think, affected everybody in some form or fashion.
I mean, the last thing he was on bombed.
It did. Well, it did, and that's... We try not to remember things like the crazy ones in the last couple movies he's done,
everyone's like the 90s peak. And I think that's because, like, everyone definitely was younger and they appreciate what he did. And I'm not trying to say that it's not a sad thing that he's gone. It's sad whenever we lose a life. But, I don't know, perspective. For me, is what it was. Is perspective and
right, but yeah, I mean, but the fact, exactly. I mean, it was definitely a wake up call for mental health. For
that is the one good thing, is that I'm hoping that now we will start to realize that depression is something that's real.
This is real and not to be dealt with.
Yeah,
well, it needs to be dealt with, but not to be messed around.
Yeah, but it's also because it's kind of the thing where it's a big shame to be depressed.
Exactly,
where people are like, well, just get out of bed.
Right, exactly.
And then I read a really good article about it, and it's like, well, when you're depressed, then you start believing that you're useless because everyone's telling you you're useless.
Right.
And it's this huge cycle.
Yeah.
And it said the best thing you can tell someone who is depressed is tell them it's okay to be sad.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what we do. We try to cheer people up. We try to be, it's okay to be sad, though.
Exactly. But, and that's the thing. The Robin Williams thing kind of hit my family harder, or pretty hard, because not just the fact that we loved Robin Williams, my family did, and everything he did and what he done, but we also lost a family member to suicide in the early 80s. It was my mom's dad did it in the house with everybody in it, and that's how they found him. And so, it was definitely, just kind of bringing up those old emotions for everybody to know that that's happened,
And the internet trolls.
Yeah.
This is one thing I will say about Robin Williams' suicide that made me rethink. I used to think internet trolls could be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like people are like, "Can I get pregnant on Sunday? It's God's day, and if I just do it on Sunday, I'm okay, right? 'Cause I'm not the Virgin Mary." And then you'd always have a troll that's like, "Yeah, you'll be fine."
Yeah, go right ahead.
And I used to think that they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think that they're mean spirited, and I don't condone trolling anymore.
No, yeah.
Because people started trolling his daughter on social media, sending pictures that were not his suicide, but claiming that they were, and all that. And what kind of person do you have to be to do something like that?
You got to be a nutsoid. I mean, there was still even
hurtful human beings.
Even after a day or two after he did it, and the mental health thing, like we were talking about, is out front, and people are talking about depression is real. Don't hurt someone who's hurting more. Don't hurt them more. There were still journalists who called him a coward. Somebody called him on Take a Wild Stab. What news group said it? Fox News. One of their anchors called him a coward.
And then you have Rush Limbaugh saying that this is, the leftist plan and da.
Exactly. What plan? No.
So yeah, that's why I hate trolling now.
Exactly.
I've officially decided no more trolling.
So you're all. But the point is, you're always going to have people that do that. It doesn't matter how horrible the situation was. There were people who said things like that and made it worse when September 11th happened. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad it is. People are always going to do that and throw something in that they shouldn't, and it's always their 2 cents, and eventually nobody listens. Well, nobody ever listens anyway, but I mean, we listen enough to where we say, hey, look what that person said, that was awful, and then we move on to the next thing. But it's typically what happens. What they do is there's always somebody that's going to say something vulgar about the situation, and you just kind of have to not listen, turn your head around and not listen to them. But does it shock anybody that Fox News and Rush Limbaugh said something bad about this whole situation? Not really.
Probably not.
Not really. But yeah. So it's been one depressing week. We find out the Palestinian Israel issue, the Iraq issue, Robin Williams, and the world is going to end in 2880. So all of these things have come up this week. It's just been one sad thing after another.
We're just doomed.
We're just doomed. It's just the way it is. So